And so realize that as a representative of reality, personally and universally, you are targeted. You are singled out. You know, to have a true identity means that you are now a singularity. Okay? You're no longer a person, you're a being. You are being. Okay? In that you are doing and not only saying. Okay? As a person, which means through sound, with a name already. Right? What is your intention in that mention? Right? And how is it interchangeable or synonymous? Right? With a title. Yes? What's the difference between a name and a title? Well, shit, one is a thing and another is a person, is a being. Is an action, is a verb. One is a noun, and the other should be a verb. A name is a verb. It's not a title. It's not a noun. Yes, that's the tricky shit about terminology and language, nigga. You understand me? What is the difference between a title and a name? Which shit is a specific difference, even business-wise, secularly speaking, as far as confidence and security and being solid and staying solid and having a sense of true self-worth through, you know, your destined purpose. Yes, it's to walk in your power. Now, what is power again? It's inner beauty, we said, yes. Power, first of all, is energy, yes. Power is an expression of energy, yes. True power is inner beauty. That's one thing it can be. It's one thing I'm going to for sure absolutely agree that it is after reading it, right? Coming across it in some different things I was reading about some other things. And I said, wow, that's amazing. That's a lovely statement there. I resonate with that statement there. Because your sense of confidence is most generally and usually going to be based on or supplanted by an emptiness, an actual insecurity, something external, a superficiality. That's just society. A friend of God is the enemy of the world. Okay, you're gonna find that you're gonna find in your maturing, in your maturity, in your advanced level, enhanced comprehension and reasoning, development. You know, larger. When you get to stepping wider, that a humble man is aware that he you know what I'm saying, that he's just that much more vulnerable, right? Meekness for weakness. I know you heard that before, yes? I'm sure that can resonate with you. Why is that such a instantly understood concept? Well, because it's such a common situation. Meekness for weakness. Yes, don't confuse them. And you either one or two people, one that is confusing that, or one being confused. It's quite weird to be anywhere in between. You either that or not. And for the most part, the majority, as I'm saying, is not being humble, not being meek, or actually confident. Okay? We are sourcing and acquiring, pulling, we are magnetizing the law of attraction, the law of magnetization, law of manifestation, right? We are soliciting, we are summoning that energy that not deneutralized, but that what is it? Contradictory energy, because you have polarizing, which neutralizes. You got contrasting, which complements. Okay. Then you got conflicting. Okay. Then you got what is called what kind of energy did I just say? What kind of energy is that I just said? Contradictory. Okay? There's a difference between a contradiction and a contrast. Okay? And so, as insecure individuals, as which means what it's implying, what it's saying, not secure, unsound, destabled, which is the case for the average person, unless you're doing big shit, unless you're doing real ass shit and are an actual friend of God for real, cuz. Yes? She know you and you know him or her. Personally. By name. You understand me? Yes? Okay, well. Don't get it fucked up. We like to delude ourselves. We like to deflect. We like to distract ourselves is the part. And in that, we pull, we magnetize these contradictory energies from every direction so as to justify, so as to, you know what I'm saying? Feel more comfortable being destable, basically. We're here to help each other. Not everybody's can co-work. Not everybody's our co-workers. Not every, we got some differences. Sometimes we have adversaries and opponents here in life. But that has to be regulated. That has to, that has to be managed healthily. That's the issue. That is an issue. Right? That is an issue. Right? That's what's on the news all day. Is differences, is conflicts. There has to be a regulation. There has to be some sort of compromise met. That is what needs to happen, right? On a global scale, down, all the way down to a intimate, most domestically direct and compact personal level between you and strangers, you and your relationships, your family, friends, and actual literal co-workers, whether it's your employer or your, your colleague, whatever it is, as far as the limit. Like, everybody want to walk around like they killers and shit. Like, nigga, if you don't go sit down and watch Netflix. And that's why I'm saying this and not writing about it, because I could always write about it. I was thinking to myself, it would be kind of different, a little kooky to write about what I'm about to say to you. However, it's just that sort of sadistic too, right? It's kind of really sarcastically, sinisterly, dark, literally. I was not thinking about darkness, but it has to do with darkness to a certain extent, like the eye in itself, right? I had the notion when I was speaking to myself in my mind about something, right? Having to do with the world scene right now, the atmosphere that, just like, social issues and dealings and mannerisms and societal woes, you could say, which is not necessarily the theme. However, it can't help but have to be the theme to a certain extent, because we are past the point of no return. Even if we reverse it all the way back as far as possible, it's still going to be past a point it should have never got to. Right now, we kind of got to work with what we get. We got to kind of make the best of things now at this point. Not to sound solemn, and not even speaking pessimistically. I'd like to, I mean, I would want to feel like I'm being as realistic in regards. But you know, I get the hunch, I get the notion that to be optimistic would be hopeless in enough ways, pessimistically speaking, about optimism. But as far as like, okay, look, you know, it's like it's time fucking to wild out. It's time to turn up. It's time to take it to tilt right now, and make the best of things. I feel like that's what we should be doing always anyway. You know, it's like that's what we have each other for, is to make it better. And that's the point. And that's something to write about. But in a way, it wouldn't be saying what it is that I thought of. And I thought of basically is how like motherfuckers is like, you know what I mean? Like they'll share the negative vibes. Like I don't even know how to even approach it. Like it's like, what type of person are you that will openly hate on another nigga, on another person, like together, like you feel me, like concertively feel any way outside of supportive or freaking, accepting and understanding in regards to another person. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand. Like that's even what I'm saying. Like me even saying it is going against my compassion, it's going against my empathy. Because to be honest, like empathy is silent. It doesn't prove its point. Like it's it's the bigger person, not necessarily even just the bigger person. It's just like it makes the best of it. Basically, it doesn't see the error. Like they say, love holds an account of no injury, but love is pain in itself. But it don't hold account of injury. It's the part, and that's just the epitome. That's one of the very aspects. That's one of the very beautiful things about love in itself. And that's the point. Like eyes, my nigga. When you see a person and you look them in their eyes, it should be loving. Look with love so as to see with eyes of understanding, Jesus says to us. With eyes of understanding, Jesus. So at any point, like that you find yourself. And what do I think? What is my suggestion? What's my solution? I think it's about service to the earth. First of all, life is about service to the earth. Service to the earth. And it is obvious, of course, that we have more than what we need to operate to where we can be lax to a particular degree. We don't have to worry about, structuring societies or civilizations and all these extra things. But there are discrepancies though across the board as far as life as a whole on Earth. Okay? I suffice to say there's probably too many people in certain places. And they can stand to be spread to different areas, right? But then at the same time, that's going to take agreement. That's going to take a meeting of the minds, and that's going to take that compromise. Not to say that I feel like I don't feel like that. I mean, at the same time, there should be some tilling. There should be tilling of the earth happening. There is, of course, it's subsidized, yes. It's sanctioned, yes. Okay? It's under the guise of world domination, yes. That takes us rising. That takes us not allowing, not accepting, and not complying. And that's why they're making those machines, because it takes people. It takes farmers, it takes landowners who don't have enough strength in numbers who don't have enough support to refute the laws of having GMO chemicals spread all on their shit, of the government coming and doing whatever they want with their land and their crop, and giving them not even the money from that they making from off of their land, right? Let alone does it take an actual human farmer, my nigga, to till the land that is owned by a particular government. Right? Because there's programs, there's regimens, there's activities to get into. But if it starts off imbalanced, then it's not going to do nothing but, fuck up the, twist up the time even more. It starts off imbalanced when it's like, it's not, if we can just approach it proactively, if we can approach it universally and holistically, meaning that all the components are considered, respectively and practically, as in the practice, and also reasonably, as in the reason. And then of course that will save that will save just that much more time. That will heal the time that has been spent and has been taken not moving in those directions. It'll make it to where the momentum for whatever has been going on will all work in each other's favor, right? And that's important. And it's about that program. It's about that curriculum, right? Whether it's educational, whether it's agricultural, whether it's, social, it's all related to growth and family, right? And if it's any man sick on earth, then every person on earth is not as healthy as they can be, right? They have the potential to the potential is for their experience not to be what they deserve for it to be completely. Nothing's perfect, but everything is natural. You feel me? And nature is perfect enough. Okay? It's balanced in that it's symmetrical. The only perfection is symmetry to begin with. Okay? Now, to say nothing is perfect is also to say that nothing needs to be perfect, right? Because it's always changing. Yeah, so anything it only is that for as long as it is that. You understand? But it's always going to be a contrast to the exact polar extreme to whatever it is or isn't. You know what I mean? So as to what is this shit, Try to gang up, try to get people on your side and shit, against God or against the friends of God, basically. As a part of the world. Because a friend of God is what? An enemy of the world. Yes? It ain't no secret. Just like you can expect for your meekness to be taken for weakness, ain't no secret. Yes? So where's this confidence coming from? If meekness itself is a quality that the inhabitants of the future earth to come must possess. Well, it's coming from that righteousness, which is to know that what you are doing is the best thing, or at least have a sound indication, at least be proving it, at least be living it, right? So there's always a restructuring, there's always a refortification, a refortifying, a reinstituting and installing of that actual fact, that, actual proof or truth. Because we get our wrong ideas about stuff, but that's why we see it through. That's why we have to be honest with ourselves firstly. You lying to yourself, then you automatically going, you know what I'm saying? You automatically going to flip shit against yourself, basically. And so where we find ourselves is we have to allow ourselves to accept that. when our soul can't accept it because it needs to be able to function correctly. Right? So we only half ourselves so far. I mean, I'm not speaking for you. I'm going based on the consensus, based on the atmosphere. The gap in the enthusiasm, the gap in the motivation, inspiration towards, you know what I'm saying? Fucking discovery and, you know what I mean? And reinvention. You know? It's like, why you need it? Like, is it excited about a fake world? Why? It's a real world outside that you can really feel. What is the appeal, my nigga, of a fake ass world? And that's the part, like, we just gonna let it happen. Right? That's between a person and a person, though. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole lot more natural. You feel me? Right? Or you can just knock the nigga out, but then he gonna wake up. Right? Then, you know what I mean? You take the good nigga gun, you wake up, you go get another gun. Right? You don't have no agreement. That's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not been agreed between you. Right? Because he didn't tell you he wasn't going to attack you. Right? You got every right to do what he want to do when it comes to his life. Right? But when it comes to your life, he don't have no right to fuck with you, cuz. Even if you done fucked with him, he got a right to change his susceptibility to your actions. Right? And that may involve you know, impairing you. Yes? Whatever that may mean, right? And it's interesting. And we talking about meekness right now. Why Jesus say turn the other cheek, yes? Because the world is in the hands of what? The wicked one. So fuck your praise, nigga. Fuck your respect, nigga. What the fuck is that worth? To be honest. I'm not here to impress you, nigga. You understand me? It's a game you playing to see if, you know what I mean? If I will allow you to not attribute all glory to the Most High. Actual, original sovereign of the universe. Which through all things are possible to begin with, my nigga. If you fuck with me, that's fine, but it's pretty much much more work to do, my nigga. Nigga, accolades is way later down the line, bro. We worry about all that recognition and all that, you know what I'm saying, and solidarity and that. Nigga, once the bomb's been defused, bitch. Once there's no more guns on Earth, nigga. For babies to learn how to shoot before they even know how to fucking fight, nigga. As far as meekness, though, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be clever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move with love. You gotta think with love to begin with. That's gonna make it to where you able to fucking change the heart of that person without even having to even touch that person. You feel me? You could say something, nigga. Something you done or not done will hit the person's nigga will hit their heart. And I'm like, hold up, man. I never met nobody in my life that got my back like this nigga. Even the niggas that I'm rounding up to go against this nigga with ain't as solid to me as this nigga is to me. Look, yo. We feel like we want to do about the fact that us being here together is not a good thing. Let it be good until otherwise. At least don't make it worse by not smiling. Otherwise, don't look. Like, if a nigga looking at me and I'm not smiling, if I'm not looking at them, I'm not going to know. They're not even going to realize that I'm not smiling at them. But if I'm looking at a person and I make eye contact with a person, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening. There's less and less eye contact. Niggas are getting much more clever. Much more, you know what I mean? Much more, deflective. To where it's like they can see you without you ever seeing them now. You know, they getting much more, experienced with the shadow, the shadow dwelling, man. And that's not an issue, but like, what it really is just a distraction. Don't nobody got no time to focus on nothing else outside of realizing their purpose and actualizing their purpose and following the steps to their destiny. Whether you believe it or not, whatever it is you do believe. Other than that, nigga, do that. And I promise that don't involve you looking at niggas as much as you can without them seeing you looking at them, so that you ain't got to worry about if they gonna smile at you or not. So then you feel better about using them or fucking, you know what I'm saying? Fucking their piece up, or you know what I mean? I don't know. Distracting yourself, basically. Yeah. Because that's already what's happening for you to even be interested in anything outside of what is serving your objectives. Like I said, what are we doing? What are you going to do about whatever the fuck that it is that you're feeling? And if you're not doing that, then of course it is your responsibility and obligation and privilege and honor and role as a person next to another person in this life to smile. Yes, it's not hard to smile. You could always just not look. But if you want to see, then you have to show your teeth. Because don't look at me, because like I told you, the image of me in your mind, if it's anything other than positive, connects and attaches itself, that idea, that thought attaches itself to the thought of me, at least the sight of me. And that's enough for whatever's going on in my mind to neutralize it, bruh. Okay? And that's just one aspect of the correlatability of what's actually happening when it comes to eyesight, my nigga. Okay? Because you choose what you look at. If you see something you don't want to see, you have the power to look away. Right? But we looking for shit we don't like. At least I don't never go out looking for some shit I don't like. Right? I try to ignore what don't make sense to me or I don't agree with until I need to neutralize it right directly. But it's going to be neutralized regardless, just my focusing on positivity. Right? But then the nigga might feel about some way about that because they don't realize that them doing the opposite is what's causing more conflict and friction between us, or between, feelings and emotions in regards to them seeing me. Well, nigga, you gonna see me, especially if you looking at me, cuz. All right? So don't let me catch you looking at me and not smiling, because I'm gonna feel away. I'm gonna forget and I do apologize for what I'm saying. Like, I wish I could think to just smile anyway. But that's not the way I'm made. That's not where I come from, cuz. And what's cold is that a person that would smile, it's two type of people that understand that the world is crazy, right? And that it's better to smile. But that's a wise person. That's a quick witted sort of reactionary person. But then it's another type of person that will smile anyway at you, even though you looking at a person and they see you seeing them, and then you don't smile at them. Even if your smile is fake, I'm not saying fake smile, but I mean, it's crazy to me as a motherfucker will literally not even fake smile at you. You know what I mean? Like, even if you inside feeling evil, you still want to say, well, shit, nigga, fuck you, basically. You know what I mean? Basically, that's what you're saying to a nigga, like. And it's like, I'm not talking about me. This happens to everybody. This happens all the time to everyone. People passing each other, and it's like, we want that warmness. We want that warmth, because what's funny is, like, a nigga will almost smile at you, right, just to fuck with you, especially a quick-witted reactionary white motherfucker, right, that who's doing business, you know what I mean, who know how to hit a nigga with a smile just to crack you open, basically, just this, you know what I mean. And it's like, that's where the shit come from. It's a game. I'm not talking about white people. I'm just talking about the business world. And where this has gotten to where it has gotten is because of business, right? Because, you know what I mean? Politics, politeness, right? Politics got polite, the word polite in it. You got these you got these influential men of power smiling in your face while they stabbing you in your back. Literally, that's what politics is. That's why they call it politics. I mean, polis is the word for city, but even at the same time, it's still the same word in polite, you know? And I'm not saying every politician is bad, but it is, that's the business. That's the nature of the business. That's the nature of the machine, of the beast, that is control, that is power. So as far as keeping it in a manageable space on the playing field of what we can not necessarily control, but at least we can affect, we can change, we can right directly influence, we can enrich, we can bless, we can utilize, have it be genuine, sincerity. It's about genuineness and sincerity. I understand deflecting. I understand, evading, and staying neutral so that you don't, cause tension or flare up, differences or animosity by being overly, embracive or inclusive or acknowledging. You want to keep it cool and standard, but that's different than, being sensitive. And that's the whole thing. Like, a lot of us are sensitive. And when I say us, I mean yo sensitive ass. A lot of you sensitive ass niggas is sensitive, right? To where it's like, right, like you be needing a hug and shit. Like, niggas, you feel me? Like, bro, like, you gotta be solid, my nigga. You gotta understand, like, it's your job as a nigga, as a person, just in general. Even girls too, young girls too. And what I love about some girls, like, they realize this. And that's what's dope about some of these chicks out. I'm saying it because maybe you feel like nobody cares. Maybe you feel like you can get away with it when, first of all, that's the point of what I'm saying. You're not finna get away with that shit, yo. It's a reason why our eyes got darkness in it. They say the eyes is a window to the soul, yo. I encounter with motherfuckers try to sneak into my soul. You got fools looking you in your eyes from the side out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level of respect when it comes to eye contact, my G. You never, first of all, this is something I'm gonna say to you. I believe it's an African proverb. I believe it's a principle of life. And if it's not, then it needs to be. And if it don't need to be, or if it wasn't already, it now is. And I'm making it one. I think I heard it somewhere before. At least this is what I've always known or was taught early in my life, or would never even question or operate outside of or differently from. And that is never, number one, never look a man in the face, or a woman, another person whatsoever. Like somebody told me, 50 things your son should know. Never shake a man's hand while sitting down, right? That's one, this axiom of life. A code of conduct. Another code of conduct. Don't look a person in their face and not speak to them. Just think about it. Like, why would you ever do that? You may be too far for them to hear what you would say to them, but that's why we got nods. Otherwise, why are you even looking at them? If it's not to say, yeah, nigga, I'm better than you. You're a tool. You are a fucking object in my world. Like, yo, we share in this world, man. And, this is my space and my face, my nigga. And I'm not looking at you, bro, unless I should be happy. You should walk past what I am looking at. or you wasn't there, then you was there. My G. Right? So it's like, you got to think about this shit, yo. Like, and what's cold is, if you're looking at anything for any reason, you already thinking about it. But your wrongs are, your fucking thoughts are incorrect, homie. If you looking at a person and not nodding at them, homie. Now, if you looking back at them and they, because they looking at you, then nod. Or get down. Get down. Right? You can frown. Me, look, it's hard for me to smile at a nigga that's not smiling at me, especially when I looked at them and they was already looking at me. Right? If I'm looking at a nigga, which I'm not going to be looking at a person unless I know him. Even if I know him, I'm not going to be looking at them unless I'm about to say something to him anyway already, my nigga. Right? So if I happen to catch eyes with a person and I was looking at them first, by the time they even realize that they're looking at me, bro, I'm going to be smiling at them, bro. Not because I'm scared of what they might do to me, bro. Because that is the code of conduct, cuz. Okay, so it's like, nigga, if I look at you, cuz, and you don't smile at me, cuz, and you looking at me already, you're saying something to me. Now, I'm not used to this because honestly, I'm not that nigga, bro. I'm not the type of individual, bro, that encounters that whatsoever. The way I walk, do my fucking daily activities, the way I handle my business, bro. You ain't never got no reason to have no problem with me, bro. You ain't never got no reason not to enjoy yourself around me, cuz. And so it's surprising to me anytime I encounter prejudice, anytime I encounter discrimination, anytime I encounter fucking animosity. It is, even though, nigga, I'll whoop the fuck out. You know, not that I'm gonna beat up everybody. I'm not gonna beat everybody up, right? But I will fight your ass if, nigga, you want to fight. Nigga, you want to fight, we gonna fight, right? Even if you beat me up. I'm not saying, when I say I'm gonna whoop your ass, I'm not saying, oh, I'm gonna definitely whoop your ass because I can whoop everybody's ass. I'm just saying, if we need to fight, then we should fight. But if we don't need to fight, then what is there to be upset about? Evil eyes. What is all the evil eyes for? Right? It's because it's a big mix. It's all twisted and it's too far out of hand at this point, my nigga. Right? Because it does matter, my nigga. Not to say, oh, it matters because I'm saying it matters. But if you think about the fact that the eyes have a hole of darkness in it, right? Even if it's right up on, this is the part, I had a fucking epiphany. I was like, wow, that's pretty deep. It literally is deep. Like, the light is never finna be up in your eye, bro. My nigga, that is a straight up configured organic nigga chamber, bro. Your eyes are. You know what I mean? It's possible. Same time as, like, my nigga, for real, like, you gotta keep it in perspective, like, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing possible without God. Ain't nothing possible. And you know, you might be getting away with it for now because a bolt of lightning ain't hit you when you know that you faking, nigga. You know you faking. And at any given moment, you know, you can be called, your bluff can be called, nigga. And it's not about what another person gonna do because they know that they, feel me, they can, because, nigga, you ain't got a gun and shit like that. You know, that's different. I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? There's always type of different things going on, but just know this. You can do whatever you want to try to explain away or prove to whoever else may be watching, but God is watching. And God see you looking at what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as for show and it being a evidence to yourself, that's that power. That's that inner beauty. That's that powerful inner beauty. You know what I'm saying? That evidence to yourself, nigga, is that inner beauty. You understand? Yes, because what is beauty? Beauty is is the interchangeable, was one of the interchangeable aspects of balance, right? Of what? Truth in itself. Of what? Law also. Yes? You can't have any of these without all of these, right? And another of those is love itself, yes? To reiterate it, beauty, which is law, which is truth, which is love, which is balance, yes. Okay? What else it is? What else it is? It's harmony, yes? It's harmony. You know what I'm saying? Reality, true reality, no matter how it is you want to spin it, or get enough people to agree with you, or, commend you in regards, confidently, like, you feel me? Like, yo, my nigga. Yes? So what do I think should happen? Well, first of all, man, there needs to be an even spread, not to say sharing and, give, rich gives to the poor. I'm saying for the people alive today, can there at least be the needs met? We have everything we need. Yes, we've come to a point now to where we don't need to really worry about having what we need. At least those who are in a position to utilize, to capitalize off of, to take advantage of these, open opportunities or granted opportunities. But that's completely not enough for the person that would to continue even. For now, fine, yeah, sure. Down the line, that's going to change. Down the line, it's going to change for everyone, my nigga, who do not own the land. Okay? So that's the real conversation. Now, right, Lau, whoever is on the land, born on the land, they got to say so. Whoever is born on that land has the say so, yo. Now, we trace back the lineages, yes, to the first bloodlines that are said to have been from that land, and see what they say right now today, between everyone together. Right now today, between everyone together. And that's why they say truth is on your side. Truth is on your side. Because it's harder to keep up with all the lies, to keep track of. It's not harder to keep up. It's just that much more intricate, much more involved, keeping track of all the lies. When honestly, the shit is, like I said, it's shallow and empty. It's insignificant. It's irrelevant. As far as maneuvering, though, and navigating towards destined sort of coordinated calibrations, right? Because you see, the thing about destiny is it is a path, but it's a path that you find through other paths. You know what I'm saying? It's your heart compass. And so it's an exploration as well as a charting that you're doing. It's an exploration as well as an excavation. You know what I mean? You on an excursion, but you also on a fucking, you're on a trajectory. You know what I mean? And so, like, you got these other fixed patterns or routes that other pilots are on, right? And they sometimes come into your fly zone. Sometimes intersect your fly zone, right? And your fucking drag or whatever might swoop them up, and they notice, oh snap, well this is a free route right here, nigga. This is this is an unmapped path, right? And that's what be happening. And so it's like, at the same time, they got a break from that fake ass fucking route that they on, in order to even get next to you, to affect you. Because it's all about your approach, and what you let get to you, how you allow whatever to get to you or to invade your space. Because it's all about your approach and what you let get to you, how you allow whatever to get to you or to invade your space, to interrupt or not so much interfere, but infiltrate your frequency, your wavelength, your confidence, basically, your countenance, your meekness, your service, your attention, your focus, It involves everyone. You don't want to exclude anyone. But that just comes from being universal or approaching whatever it is that you do, pursue, or gravitate towards universally as possible as you can. That means involving everything that you have learned that you know to be fair, to be balanced, to be significant, to be real. You know what I mean? And it's because we can't always be right, but we can always be real, my nigga. We can always be real. Even if you almost would have faked or lied, you catch yourself, my nigga, every time. Until you start doing it more than you don't do it, and then even then you think about how you didn't catch yourself afterwards, cuz. You can always be real, cuz. But you're not always going to be right, my nigga. Right? But if you just, only doing so much to where you just there, you just still doing the same thing the whole time, then it's like, that's not real either. It was, for then. Okay? All right, so it's like, it's all about your approach. It's not about what another person is doing. It's all about your remaining humble and focused and open to all possibilities. Patience is very important when it comes to grace. That's the beginning of grace, is patience. You know what I mean? So, it's not about allowing a person to affect or to have any type of say so or to determine. It's not allowing anything outside of yourself to determine. And so that's just, it's kind of really convoluted like that nowadays, because that's exactly the game that's being played, to where like they know that you would have to do this or that in order to even keep yourself composure, to stay with integrity. They know that you got to do this or that, right? But that's the beautiful thing. Like, they only going to focus on one out of all the things that you can do universally and still retain your integrity, and not even just retain your integrity and self-respect, but expand it. It just takes your openness and creativity, as well as patience, not to get it done as so far fast and far right away. However, the faster you move, the more transparent you are, and that it's even harder to tell what you would do, because you already did the shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially starting from where you should start at each time, which is from a patient, collected, stationed, purposed, blessed position. Blessed. position.